Welcome to Ramble 3, which is for my 28th video, which consists of me getting 5,000 elite clues and sailing. So those two will be the main topics I'll be going over for this video. So for starters, this time around I actually wrote down things to talk about, so hopefully things will be a bit more structured, and I won't be repeating myself 8 billion times, but we'll see about that. Otherwise, the first thing I want to talk about is Doom. So in the beginning of the video, I showed the Doom loot tracker, and if anything, the money we use for dragon implings. And in the end, I am not 100% certain if that time invested at Doom was way better than doing shades. Like, I'll never be able to figure that out, especially considering I was trying to learn the boss. But it definitely helped out a lot. I don't remember on the top of my head. I think from all the dragon implings I had, I got like 200, 300-ish clues in the end. But in the end, because I don't want to talk about this for too long, and I don't remember what I talked about last video, I enjoy doing Doom, even though it was probably a distraction. Like, it definitely helped out a lot, so I'll just leave it at that. Otherwise, for dragon implings, oh, do I miss looting dragon impling, or impling jars rather, for that matter, because man, the convenience of just being able to get clues that fast. And I know, sorry Iron Man, I know you guys don't understand, but yeah, being able to just get clues and stack up your caskets like at a ridiculous pace is so nice. If anything, I just wish that there was a better moneymaker, or that dragon implings were more cheaper, but whatever, I'm not going to get into my fairy tale land, so I'll leave it at that. Either ways, it was great opening dragon implings. Now, the next thing to talk about is shades. So, first of all, for this video, or like the actual main video, not the behind the scenes, I am really glad I did a better job documenting, which I talked about in my last ramble. Pretty much in my last ramble, I talked about how I wanted to document more because I did not do that. And there's a few reasons why I want to document more. One reason is because if I'm doing content creation, how the fuck is anyone going to be able to know and see what I was thinking of, what I was dealing with, whatever, if I don't record? And that was the problem I had with the last video, the last main video. Like, I did not record shit, so I had nothing to show. I didn't get to show much of us getting ragged at Callisto, and I had like no clips of me showing that I was up late. So I couldn't prove that, oh yeah, I spent a lot of hours, I sacrificed sleep. So I'm glad that this video in particular, I did a better job of documenting that. So yeah, anyways, for shades, I mentioned it early in the video, in the main video, shades is boring, and I want to talk about that a bit more. I ended up taking a lot of naps upon coming back to shades, and while I'm not 100% certain on the reason, I think the big reason was probably because of Callisto, because during my time of doing Callisto, was my sleep schedule fucked. Getting roughly like 1 to 4 hours of sleep. And I was doing Callisto a lot more often back then compared to now, or during the grind. So I think that might have fucked me up. It's hard to say, because with the way my sleep is, I tend to function better with less hours of sleep. But I think I was functioning, or I was getting a little too little sleep. Because usually I'm fine with like 6 hours, but yeah, since it was under 6 hours and it was constant, and I was sleeping at very dumb times compared to usual, that was probably the reason why I was getting sleepy. But otherwise, again, shades is boring, and yeah, I just was not in the mindset for a while. Like, there's only so much mindset can do, for sure. But it was tough. So let me actually look at my fucking notepad and shit to talk about. So one thing I want to talk about is not going to the gym. Now, this channel is mainly meant to be related to RuneScape, but to some degree, I will bring up real life stuff. And the reason why I'm bringing up the gym specifically is because the gym is something everyone understands. We all know that you should go to the gym. We all know that health is important, so on and so forth. And then not only that, we all know that it can be hard to be disciplined to go to the gym for XYZ. It depends on the person for sure. There's some people who live for the gym, so they can go, no problem. But yeah, there's times, quite a lot, where I kept skipping the gym. Now, let me be clear. God, I'm trying not to divert too far and talk too much about real life and personal stuff. I'm not against it, but I'm trying to keep it more strictly about RuneScape. Anyways, I actually love going to the gym. I love working out. I'm not hardcore obsessed. I just love it, and that's it. But my God, was it hard for me to go to the gym at times. One reason is because, or the main reason rather, is because I really wanted to achieve my goals. Yes, it's a video game. That's not a good reason. But I did mention it before. I really want to make this YouTube and content creation a thing. I forgot what I was trying to get at. But because of YouTube, yeah, that was definitely the big reason why I wasn't going to the gym. And not only that, the worst part is the rationalizations you keep having. I'm sure we all have that, where you rationalize that you should or shouldn't do this and that. And my God, your mind is your fucking worst enemy sometimes. It's ridiculous. I told myself, oh, well, I shouldn't go to the gym because I gotta do this and blah, blah, blah. And it's just dude, in the end, I'm aware. Health is important. I need to take care of myself. But the fact I kept skipping the gym was rough. But sometimes the sacrifices you have to make to achieve your goals. So then I had mindsets like that. And then also, gotta finish this before the end of... Gotta finish the elite clue grind before the end of the year. And... yeah, pretty much my mind just kept going in circles about shit I should and shouldn't do. So, yeah, it's rough. But here's the worst part. The times I do skip the gym, there was also a lot of times, especially early on, where I did not meet my shade goals. So, because that was the case, it's just okay, I can't be 100% a loser. I need to be 90%. Kind of just to exaggerate, but I need to be 90% a loser. There's no reason why within a day I'm not going to the gym and not burning much shades. So because of that, I think from that point on, the script kind of reversed a little bit, and I started becoming a bit more motivated to burning shades. I mean, in the end, I was kind of forcing myself, which, whatever, I guess. But still, the fact that I still ended up pushing through to burn as much shades as I did in the end was the main thing that mattered. I need to stop paying attention to Saracnus. I'm doing Saracnus on the side right now. Anyways, moving on to the next part. So the reason why I'm also talking about the gym is not for me to be defensive and be oh, but whatever. I'm talking about to show that you can actually, believe it or not, live a healthy and good life despite some, what looks like on the surface, bad habits. Believe it or not, I care about my life, and I'm trying to make the best of it. I mean, it could be better, sure. And in the end, I am playing a video game, but still, I'm trying to show that I'm not 100% stuck on the grind mindset. I also try to think about the other smaller things, kind of the foundation in a way. Because, so that's my health. It's how am I gonna... This sounds so stupid. How am I gonna play RuneScape if my health is shit? But, I mean, I think you get the idea. So, yeah. That's the reason why sometimes I talk about real life, because again, some people just don't see things from different perspectives. It's like, yeah, okay, I play a lot of RuneScape. Doesn't mean I don't care about my life. Yeah, I play a lot of RuneScape. Doesn't mean I don't care about my health, so on and so forth. So that's the reason why I talk about these things. Anyways, let's move on before I fucking ramble too much about this shit. The next thing to talk about... Well, anyways, actually to conclude the shade talk. Yeah, it was rough at first. I had no idea why. I was sleepy all the time. But in the end, I managed to reverse it. And I managed to go really hard on shades in the end. And I'm glad I documented it. So I actually had shit to show. Alright, so next part. Sailing. So... it kind of annoyed me with sailing because it distracted me from my goal. It just felt like a distraction, which I talked about a few times in the past. Like, distractions. Before I get into that, I need to juggle my clues. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, even though I never went anywhere. So, distractions, or with sailing in particular. Yeah, it's kind of a distraction, but at the same time, with sailing, not being able to use the max cape with clues is kind of a big thing. And then the sailing clue steps also didn't help either. It's like I quote-unquote need to do sailing so I can do those sailing elite clue steps. So because of that, just having to deal with sailing and the fact that the skill was new at the time, the skill was new means that I need to wait for people to establish metas. I need to wait for stuff to be discovered, pretty much. So, yeah, that definitely held me back quite a bit. And then, I don't understand sailing because it's new stuff. So, I had to figure out how to do things like the chores, like upgrade your boat or do the Barracuda trials or whatever. So that just eats up my time. And for me being the type of person who's like, oh man, you gotta put in the work. You gotta motivate yourself. I won't deny that, boy, did I get annoyed with sailing. Because it felt like a distraction. I just wanted to focus on my clues. I don't want to do sailing right now, but I know I have to. That's just part of the whole grind. So, yeah. I'll talk more about sailing in a little bit. Next thing to talk about is Rosewood Pyrologs. Boy, what a disappointment that was. All it does is just give you additional fire making XP. But in reality, who's gonna use Rosewood Pyrologs? Like, honestly. Like, first of all, I feel like the only people that are gonna burn shades, Urium shades, period, is people grinding out for elite clues. Otherwise, there's much better methods if you want to do 200 mil all or 200 mil fire making XP. I think that's the only other reason why someone would use Rosewood Pyrologs. But at the same time, there's way more better methods that aren't trash. You can do Wintertodd. Wintertodd, really. Like, that's so much better. So, it was definitely a huge disappointment when I saw that it literally didn't make any difference besides the amount of fire making XP you get. And I really hope that changes, but I highly doubt it'll ever change. Because when you really think about it, like, realistically, it's like, let me look it up. Well, first of all, to chop a redwood tree is level 90. To chop a rosewood tree is level 92. To burn a redwood pyrolog is 90 something. And to burn a rosewood pyrolog is 2 levels higher. So I get it that it shouldn't be buffed that much because the level difference between redwood and rosewood isn't that high, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a little bitch, but like, who would burn rosewood pyrologs? There's no reason to. Literally zero reason. I don't see why anyone would. So, Yeah, that's just my opinion. Huge disappointment. Maybe one day we'll get a good elite clue method, but again, that's my fairy tale land. So, yeah, that sucks. Now, going back to sailing. So, yeah, I was definitely in a dilemma quite a bit on figuring out the most efficient way to handle sailing, because in the end, once again, the main priority is clues, but sailing is ultimately a distraction. So I kept flip-flopping on whether I should... Actually, I didn't do it that much, but I did flip-flop quite a bit on whether I should actively train sailing or just salvage, which is AFK. And I don't know, it was definitely quite hard to figure out. If anything, though, one thing I tried not to do and have a heavy focus on was not having a FOMO mindset, fear of missing out. So, like, there's times, like, very beginning, like, I don't remember what it was exactly at this point, but, like, I think there was, like, a bottle in the ocean that gives, like, 10k sailing XP or something like that, and then no monkey found it out, and then everyone was like, oh my god, I gotta get that bottle, and then, you know, Jagex, like, nerfed that. So pretty much, like, XP rates, if anything. They definitely kept messing with the XP rates, and I tried very hard to not have a FOMO mindset, being like, oh my god, I should really take advantage of this. And who knows, maybe I lost more time in the end with sailing. Who cares? That's not the point. Point is, once again, distractions. That shit was a distraction. I was trying not to get distracted. And I did a pretty good job, honestly. And granted, in my opinion, with sailing, there's not much that makes it so I'm just like, oh my god, yes, I have to do this sailing thing. I have to do fishing trawling. I have to do barracuda trials, whatever. Like, nothing made me feel like that. So, definitely helped out. But regardless, in the end, figuring out if I should actively train sailing was definitely kind of tough. But in the end, what I ended up doing, even though, you know, I kind of flip-flopped at times, pretty much I did salvaging at work, and then at home, I tried to focus on my clue grind, and then every once in a while, I would, like, do some sailing chores. And it definitely was the better decision, in my opinion. Now, salvaging, I'm really glad that was a thing. I think they did a really good job. I think they actually thought about the people. Well, first of all, yes, I remember they fucked up the salvaging rates really bad at one point. Oh, I remember. But otherwise, I think they did a really good job catering to people otherwise who want to just AFK or do some low intensity method. And yeah, I'm glad salvaging was a thing. That really saved me a lot of time, I feel. And now, despite me saying that, and this is me being a little fucking baby, for sure, but my god, did I have to pay attention a little more than necessary at work. Like, it probably didn't help that I was doing 2 accounts at once, like, for salvaging, so that's probably my fucking problem. But, yeah, I did not like the whole, what was the term? I don't know what the term is, but when you have to use your salvaging station, because then I have to pay attention and drop items, and then I have to go to the cargo hold to withdraw more, and then use the salvaging station. Like, I felt like I had to pay way too much attention because of that, and I know, boohoo me, so I'm not gonna get more into it. But that thing was annoying to deal with. But, you know, gotta suck it up. Can't always complain. But, let's see. Because of me wanting to put more emphasis on my clue goal, and also me trying to rush, because I truly thought I was going to cut it really close with getting 5,000 elite clues. Because of that, I did a really bad job on a few things related to sailing, such as reading. I don't fucking read the wiki pages, though I think, to be fair, there was times where the wiki pages weren't really up to date. But one example is, like, The fact that I can have a greater teleport focus on my raft. I did not know that. I don't think that was on the wiki, but I'm gonna take accountability and say I did not read. That's a me problem. I could have looked at my raft for that matter too, and looked at what I was able to build. I didn't read. The Barracuda trials, mainly a jubbly jive if anything. I did not watch videos because I just wanted to do my clue grind. So because of that, stuff like that definitely ate up more time than necessary. Even times when I was trying to upgrade my boat, it's like, I thought I had the proper materials needed. I did not. So my god, I need to work on my reading. And I need to work on just chilling out. Because the reason why I don't read is because I'm like on, to exaggerate a bit, I'm on survivor mode. I'm trying to put a lot of emphasis on being efficient. So because of that, I don't read, and because of that, I'm not being efficient. So I need to work on that. So I think that's mainly it for sailing. So then, now I'm talking about Arachnus. Not much to talk about with that either, if anything, because at one point I showed my Arachnus log. Oh boy, am I glad that Urania boots are in the game. That helped so much with the elite clue grind, because I spent so much hours grinding for clues. I really wish I actually grinded out Arachnus during my hard clue grind. I think that's one thing I wish I would have done different with the hard clue grind that I did a long time ago, like a year at this point. Because Arachnus shits out hard clues. So I think the better approach would have been to have done Arachnus at work for both hard clues and elite clues, and then I can greenlog hard clues passively at some point because of that. And then eventually, I can also passively greenlog elite clues, if that made sense. Point is that I wish I did Arachnus for hard clues. Because back then I did Wilderness Hellhounds, and the fact that I was in the wilderness and that's kind of a high traffic PKing area, yeah, not the best use of my time. Because having to deal with PKers and get back definitely sucked, but I was not thinking outside the box at that time. I was not using critical thinking skills, so oh well. But yeah. So much time was spent at Arachnus, and then again, it helped out. So next thing to talk about, I already talked about Jubbly Jive, I think. Alright, I don't know how much I talked about it. I hated that course. Maybe it was a skill issue. Maybe it was because I was too focused on the clue grind that I didn't absorb info properly when I watched videos. But my god, there was something about that course that just pissed me the fuck off, because I was struggling really bad. Maybe it was the ground tile markers, because my god, too much visual clutter. But I did not like that course at all. It was just annoying. I'll leave that at that. Next thing to talk about is my alt account. So, last video, I got my alt account to 2200 total level. But with sailing being released, there's a new total level, which is 2350. And I did not talk about it in this video, in the main video, on purpose, both on purpose and also because there's not much to talk about. But yeah, I am training that alt account to get to 2350. I felt like it'd be kind of a waste not to, and also it'll help keep me entertained if I'm trying to multitask and keep myself awake. But otherwise, yeah, because like I already put in so much work to get the alt account to 2200, but now that there's a higher total world level, and now that more people have 2200 total level accounts, it's like I feel like it'd be a waste. I feel like I didn't want to have all that effort be wasted, so that's the reason why I'm grinding it out to 2350. And also, let's be real, I'm still going to do Callisto. So, I'll talk about Callisto some other time. Otherwise, yeah, that's all I want to talk about for that alt account. Sailing chores, I have that on my notepad. There's a lot of chores. I know they try to keep it engaging and whatever. They definitely did a good job in that aspect. So that way there's more depth to sailing. But me being a little baby and me wanting to just focus on my clue goal, ugh, all the chores is kind of annoying. And don't get me started if I was an Iron Man having to grind out all those supplies. But yeah. Anyways. I think I'm gonna actually insert an unedited clip of me talking about 12-hour shade days. If not, then I'll just cut this part out. Okay, sorry. Before I insert that unedited clip, there's a few reasons why I'm inserting it in the first place. First of all, I do talk about some stuff that I haven't talked about in regards to shades. Otherwise, some of the stuff I have talked about already. So it's up to you if you want to skip it. Otherwise, I mentioned it in the last ramble, I'm pretty sure, but it relates to documenting, and I'm doing this for me as well. Like, as you can tell when I talk, there's a lot of times where I don't speak coherently, my thoughts don't flow out properly, so on and so forth. Like, my speaking could be better is what it boils down to. So because of that, I think it'd be nice for me to see these clips sometime down in the future and see that, oh, wow, I've gotten a lot better at talking. Like, I sound more confident, I sound smarter, so on and so forth. And if that's not the case, like years down the line, and I sound like I'm having a fucking mental breakdown every time I talk, that'd be kind of funny. Also, no, that would suck. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna insert that clip now. Alright, so in the main video, I talked about how I need to burn 29k shades, and I'll practically be done with shades, or at least cremating them if anything. So there's not much to it really, besides obviously putting in the time. And the other main thing is just using my time effectively as well. Since 12 hours in a day to do this is a lot. And besides the sleepiness, like if I want to take a nap, I'll do it. But I try pushing through otherwise. I try pushing through as hard as I can. And then when the naps come in, I'll take the naps. But then the main issue is at the end of the night when I'm actually sleepy. Because I could just give in and sleep for the night. And I don't want to do that if I don't reach my goals. So what I'm going to end up doing is napping on the ground. Because the ground is not comfy. I've tried it a few times. And I do fall asleep. But like, not for super long. So because of that, pretty much once I wake up from that nap, I get up immediately, continue the grind. Definitely not the ideal thing to do, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. If I'm gonna set goals, if I want to reach goals at a reasonable time, first of all, I shouldn't be complaining if I'm not doing the best that I can. So, yeah, those naps on the ground late at night should help me, is what I'm trying to get at. So, that is what I'm going to be doing. Otherwise, there's not much to it. The only other thing to really talk about is how am I staying motivated. Besides the fact that I have a goal in mind, like pretty much every time rather, like that helps me get motivated, push through. But otherwise, like, shades is boring. Not only is it boring, but it's click intensive, so I do need to take breaks at times for the sake of my hand. Like, I would love to be able to just 6-hour log shades nonstop, but it's just not realistic for me personally without any physical damage or strains or whatever, so the breaks are necessary. And otherwise, what was I talking about? I think I was talking about like motivation or something. But if anything, back then, what I would try to do is just strictly this account, nothing else. Not watching content on the side and not playing on the alt account, just strictly this. And the reason I was trying to do that is because it's a mindfulness thing. Like, with a lot of grinds in general, not just RuneScape, but even in real life, a lot of grinds are slow and boring, and it almost feels like there's no end in sight, which doesn't help either. So it's just like, you give in to stimulus types of things, whether it's food, watching videos, movies, whatever the fuck you do to stimulate yourself. And it's nice to have breaks like that every once in a while. But I feel like there's more of a skill pushing through and actually developing, I guess, a mental toughness. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I'll go with it. The mental toughness to just power through one thing and one thing only and not get distracted by other things. Even if it helps you, it's not necessarily a distraction. But yeah, like I was trying hard to not rely on other things, and I was decently successful. Like obviously at times I'll get bored and tired that I do need something else to help me, but I feel like the longest I lasted was probably 2 hours until I truly got bored or tired. And I'm at the point where, since I'm so close to finishing this goal, and especially if I want to do 12 hours of shades, like, I kind of need the other external factors. You could say it's kind of a loser mindset, but, like, let's be real. Who's going to want to do 12 hours of shades? Maybe not in a row, sure. But no one. So nowadays, I'm training the alt account, and I'm watching content when I'm in the mood. When I'm in the mood, at least. I honestly don't consume much content in general. But the content helps kill time. Because another thing I've noticed I've been doing this for a long time. Like, I'm just looking at the top left here, and I'm like, okay, what experience am I at now? Okay, maybe I should stop once I reach this XP. And it's stuff like that that kind of gets in the way. Like, it could definitely serve as both a motivator and a demotivator, but the fact that it serves as a demotivator as well is part of the issue. It's like, oh, I'm looking too much at that, and I'm just like, oh, I'm getting closer. I guess I could tone it down. Oh, now I'm gonna get tired, blah, blah, blah. And the realistic goal would be to just not show up on screen, turn that off, but I'm still gonna keep it up anyways. Which doesn't make sense, but I'm still gonna keep it up. But yeah, I've been looking at that top left quite a lot, and it definitely has proven to get in the way. But it's just another mindfulness thing, trying to push through it. So that is what I'm gonna be doing. There's a lot going on in my mind, and also when I ramble for a long time, or just in general, I tend to get out of breath because, boy, do I not fucking breathe when I talk a lot. So, I think I could conclude it at that. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. Oh yeah, no, the last thing to talk about. Yeah, 12-hour shade days. Yeah. Okay, maybe there's not much to talk about. I think I was going to repeat myself practically. It's just I need to push through. I need to use my time effectively and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Enough of that. I only have 2, maybe 3-ish days of 12-hour shades. It's not a permanent thing, so I could definitely do it. It's just not appealing at all. Anyway, see you on the other side. Alright, the next thing to talk about. During the whole time I was editing the main video, the 5000 Elite Clue grind video, or even just the whole the Elite Clue grind videos in general, I felt like... Actually, that is the next thing to talk about. Okay, so I might actually save this for a separate video, but if anything, the main thing I want to talk about is how during this whole Elite Clue grind, I thought the better approach would be to just grind out the 5000 Elite Clues and then upload the videos. But I feel like I should have done it the opposite, where I upload the videos while I was doing the grind. And the reason for that is because the way these past few videos have been on the main channel is that I felt like it could have been structured better. I felt like I was cramming a little too much in. And because of that, I think it kind of backfired a little, in my opinion. But not only that, I couldn't deliver the messages I wanted to deliver. And I didn't deliver the messages I want to deliver because I did not document. And because there's so much crammed. Because my God, like these past two videos are like 50 minutes. Even if people don't care about the video length, like I didn't get to do the thing that I wanted to, which was to put a heavy emphasis on the mess and to deliver a message. Like the whole point of the Elite Clue Grind videos, or one of the main points, was to deliver the message that you can achieve your goals, and here's how, or some ways you can do it, or here's different perspectives. Like, I crammed so much content in these past two videos that, yeah, I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to put in a better message. So it's definitely unfortunate. And not only that, I don't think people are as invested with the whole Elite Clue series. But that's my opinion. I don't know. Either ways, not only that, while I was editing the videos too, it's like there was a couple times where I was mentioning how oh, I'm going to be streaming the Elite Clue opening video. But here's the thing. The Elite Clue opening stream has already been done. Like, as of this specific voice recording you're hearing, it is February 4th. I finished streaming the Elite Clues like weeks ago. And that would have been a great way to advertise it, but I did not, because I decided to do things backwards, which was do the grind and then do the videos. So that's something I wish I could have done. I could have changed, but at least I know now, and you live and learn, whatever. The other thing about doing, like, editing the video so late is that I don't remember what the fuck happened. A lot of the times. That's another issue. I forgot some of the thoughts I had. I forgot some of the mindsets I have. And then that also boils down to documenting, and yeah. Otherwise, I guess that is pretty much all there is to talk about for this ramble. Hopefully it flowed a bit better. Hopefully it's not as fucking annoying. I don't know. I feel like every time I do these rambles, they're kind of annoying because I talk too fast. My thoughts process too fast. So then I talk about topic B when I should still be talking about topic A. But maybe I'll get better at this. I'll try to get better. The next thing I want to talk about, the next ramble rather, is my YouTube growth and my YouTube journey. Because I'm looking at my ramble folder, and that is the next thing besides the whole Elite Clue stream behind the scenes ramble thing. So I'm gonna actually upload a separate video talking about my YouTube journey, since I already talked about how I want to make content creation a thing and so on and so forth. So I think that'll be an interesting thing to upload. Let me know if you guys are interested, even though I'm still gonna upload it regardless of what you guys say. And yeah, okay. Alright, so I thought I would do something different, because when I really think about it, so far with this channel, it's just been rambles, not so much behind the scenes. So here's some behind the scenes. So right now, I'm trying to make my thumbnail for video 28, which is me getting 5,000 Elite Clues. And my God, thumbnails are so hard every time. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do this title. And one thing I've been thinking of, so first of all, yes, I'm still a small content creator, so I'm definitely not going to get as much views. And then the fact that my channel was kind of dead for a while, I don't think the algorithm is really helping me. I mean, there's a lot of things I could speculate, and I don't have an answer, nor will I ever. But one thing I'm trying to do differently right now with my thumbnails is make it a bit simpler, which is what I did with my last video, made this a little simpler. But regardless, another thing I was thinking about is branding. And yes, I'm gonna act like I'm a rich person and I know these things. So here's what I mean by branding. So when you look at titles and thumbnails, you'll be able to recognize very fast, if not immediately, oh, this is this content creator. No Monkey has a specific font that stands out. Rendy, he tends to have a different art style for like RuneScape related assets, and he usually does like level 3 challenges, so that level 3 on top stands out. Solo Mission tends to have like very close up images of like RuneScape related items, and just like kind of high contrast on the items. Or Wild Mudkip, I usually recognize his character, so I see his character and recognize that as Mudkip. So what I'm trying to get at is that branding is kind of important. It'll help people click my video, at least my fans more specifically, or people that know me. Because sometimes you could be in your YouTube thumbnail. There's so many videos, but sometimes you might not realize that, oh, Tuna uploaded a video. And since he uploaded a video, oh, I see his character. All right, that means a new Tuna video. That means I'll be more likely to click and watch his video. So I want to put more emphasis on branding, and that is what I'm gonna do. So in this case for me, with my content, because when I really looked at it, let's take a look at my channel for that matter. You go to my videos, you look at these thumbnails. They may be nice thumbnails, but does any of these scream out Tuna? Maybe the clue stuff, because I've been doing clues for a while, but besides that, that could be any other content creator. You scroll through these thumbnails. Hey, that's Tuna. Does these thumbnails speak that message to you? No, it does not. So because of that, if you're a subscriber or you know me, you might see the thumbnail and be like, oh, nice thumbnail. But you might not be intrigued enough to look at the title. You might not be intrigued enough to see who uploaded it. And why am I putting my attention on that? Well, because I actually do the same thing with other people's content. Like, I'll look at some thumbnails and whatever, I might not read everything properly, and I'm just like, oh, that looks nice, or even worse, skip through it. No comment. So that's why I want to put some emphasis on branding. That's why I'm going to try implementing my character. I'm already a faceless channel, so I'm not going to upload like my real life face. But otherwise, having my character might help. Otherwise, coming up with good thumbnails is fucking hard. I always have this issue every time. Oh, actually, this is not related to thumbnails, but speaking of branding, I've been talking a lot about efficiency. Even on my Twitter, I'm like, oh, Mr. Efficient Man. That's the kind of branding I want to put. I want to put myself as the efficient man. Yeah, so I've been putting a lot of emphasis on that. And because that's also the stuff I like doing. Like, I shouldn't be doing stuff I don't like, but since I do like it, why not put more emphasis on it? So I guess I'll leave that part at that. So I never actually talked about this, but I originally wanted to make this a bit, but I never did. So this is my alt account, Tuna. He looks literally like my main account character model. And he did not look like this before. I purposely made him look like my original character model, and the reason for that is so I can use him for cinematics. Because right now, my main account is as Arachnus. It would not be efficient for me to have this account do cinematics. So that's why I made my alt look like this. And because of that, one thing I'm going to be doing is doing a photo shoot with the alt account. So what I'm going to do is take pictures myself. With the help of the blindfold plugin, I can turn this black, and to help with the skybox plugin, I use this like a green screen. I really wish that freaking green part wasn't there on the nose, but that seems to be normal for every RuneScape character apparently. But yeah, I'm going to model him, and I'm going to use him so I can create some thumbnail material. Alright, we got our character model, got a picture. Wow, such art. Just crop that out, and then get the green off. Almost perfect. You can kind of see some green pixels. But yeah, that is stuff I'm going to be doing. Alright, this took way too long. Usually I only do 1 or 2 thumbnails, but this time I did 3. So let's go over it. First of all, I try to make my character stand out, because one thing I noticed with thumbnails, not even just RuneScape, but in general, a lot of it has a lot of bright colors, so certain things stand out. That's the main key that you want. So I try to make my character stand out, try to make that stand out. That was the main thing. Because if you look at my actual character model, he is not that colorful, nor is he that bright. So, like, for example, if I were to paste him, like, it does not stand out in comparison to that. But it is kind of ugly at the same time, sometimes. I don't know. Either ways, yeah, make my character brighter, put a little shadow behind him so it stands out a bit better. Same thing with the casket, made it brighter, put some casket, put a shadow. Then I put a red outline so it stands out a bit more. And then for the background, try to make it a bit colorful because the original is this. So something like this to some extent. Pretty much it will look like that, which is not that great either. So I made it a bit brighter, turned up the saturation or whatever. Then I blurred it out so it's not too distracting, because the background is not the main focus. I want the people to be focused on the character and the elite stack. And this. That's the main thing with thumbnails. You have to put a lot of focus and attention on the main subjects that you want the people to look at. For this one, very basic, not visually distracting. And you can see the main point, which is the 5001 elite caskets. Then, for this thumbnail, this one kind of sucks. I don't really like it, to be honest, but I still want to experiment. The main thing I wanted to do was like a progression type of thumbnail, where it's like, oh, see, I have 399, now I have 5001. And I made the chest red and dull looking. Then I made this one glow up. The character model is still the same. So those are my thumbnails. As for the titles, because I didn't actually go over it, the title for this one is I have 5000 elite caskets. And you can see the thumbnail there. Title for this is I have the biggest elite stack ever. And this is a big elite stack. And for this one, I spent 13 months for this. So that's why I went with the progression route. 13 months to get from 399 to 5001. So we will see what will do better. If I remember to show this in the next behind the scenes, I will show you which thumbnail and title did better. Otherwise, we'll see what will do better. I'm hoping this one will do better. I feel like this one just looks a lot better, in my opinion. But I'm also content with this one winning. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's all for this behind the scenes and ramble. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoy seeing the thumbnail process. And if you are curious in seeing more stuff like this, do let me know, and I'll try to incorporate it, or I'll just forcefully do it, either one.